Probably I should start, right?
The recording has been turned on.
Okay.
Go ahead, Professor Gorchova.
Okay, good evening, everyone. We are starting the today's session, which is Introduction to Data 650. My name is Elena Gorcheva. I'm one of your hosts today. Probably we should put the presentation in presentation mode. Today hosts are myself, Elena Gorcheva. I'm the program director for data science and have been with UMGC since 2002. My background is in computer engineering, but of course you understand this is very wide field in which I have dedicated my career in different area, evolving to data science in the last 10 years, machine learning and data science. With me today is Professor Ozan Özkan, who is with the university for, let's say, since we started this program in data science. And Elena Batenskaya. Ozan, can you say a few words about yourself?
Your professor. Hello, everyone. This is Ozan Özkan. I have been with the university for since 2016, and I have been teaching in the on-site universities for more than 20 years now. At the same time, I work in the industry, in the IT industry, and I'm coaching the agile software development teams. And I wish everyone a very successful semester. Thank you.
And with us is the super TA, Elena Batenskaya. Many of you already know her from another classes. She is proudly our graduate of UMGC and working in position to help students more than 10 years. Elena, can you say a few words about yourself?
Yes, I've been at UMGC probably 14 years, and I've got my master's in database technology. But since then, I have been helping out. First, I started as a TA for databases. Then, when this program opened, I transferred to the data analytics program. And most of you have met me. I did your introduction to Cognos when you took Data 610, and I manage your Data 610 account. So I look forward to work with you in Data 650. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Elena, it's back to you.
I don't know. I don't hear you very well. I don't know. Maybe it's my computer. Is other people awesome? Can you hear Elena? Okay.
I hear her, but not very clear.
Yeah, that is the okay. I thought it's my computer. Okay, so let's move on. Yeah, you're fading in and out. That is the problem. Next slide. The today agenda is quite ambitious, but we are going to try to cover as much as possible to let you with question and answer. Of course, we are going to go very quickly regarding big data, and of course, to clarify idea, because many people are coming to this class with no very clear idea what to expect. And we are going to talk specifically about the software we are using in this class, because this is a class packed with technology, like most of the classes in the data analytic program. We are going to talk about the assignment, the grading, and other miscellaneous issues, including the activity for week 1. As I said, we are going to try to allot as much as possible time for Q&A. My suggestion is, if questions are coming while we are talking and presenting, You can put your question in the chat, and at the end, we are going to answer, or sometime we may try to answer whatever is in the chat room on the fly. Next slide, Elena. So everybody already at this point in the program, which is almost, this is the final stretch of the program, let's say this way, you have idea what we are talking about, because the hype about big data has been more than 10 years. We live this hype and we are in next stage, which is the AI hype. So, but they are related. So let's use the experience of the big data hype to let's say, to enter most efficiently to the new hype, which is AI. So you understand that big data was named as such because we needed different way to storage this data, to search this data, to share this data, and to do analytics with this data. And because of the need of different architecture and software tool, this evolved as technology with its difficulty, challenges, and that is part of any data analyst, data scientist career, to understand how to deal with big data from point of view of analytics. Of course, since this is technology, it has some, let's say, engineering component, which we cannot avoid when we talk about technology. So that's why you will feel this course like not truly analytics course, but most technology oriented. And there is no way to talk, because big data is the technology about the big data. It's not the data itself, it's the technology to being able to deal with this data. And as a data analyst, data scientist, you should be able to define, when you work in a problem, to be able to deal with the tools which will help you to solve problems when you deal with this data. And of course, this will need to integrate several skills. As I said, some engineering-oriented skill related with the technology. Next slide, Elena. So I have a couple of slides here. Of course, I will share the whole slide with the recording of the today meeting. And a couple of slides are just to remind you something which already you have been exposed, how the growth of this data happened, how the complexity of data increased over the year exponentially, and how the structure of the data and variety of data introduced more complexity, how to deal with accessing this data and doing analytics on them. Next slide. So how everything happened. This is very historic slide, which I very much like, and it remind us how everything evolved. And like everything today related with technology has two components: the necessity to solve problem in our life, and the advancement of the technology, which make some solution viable, that means accessible by the price which they reach. And this is what happened with this data. Data start growing exponentially in the in the previous 10 years, and then company like Twitter, Facebook start producing such a huge amount of data with variety in complexity, not just raw number, but we are talking complexity of images, text, and you name it, that needed new way to store and access and do analytic with this data. For instance, evolved technology like Hadoop distributed file system, which permitted to store big data, MapReduce as a computational algorithm to access and deal with the processing big data. After that, different databases which were more suitable to store this amount of this variety in complex data from YouTube, from Twitter, from Facebook, which were NoSQL databases. And we are going to overview as much as we can in this course, but you understand the variety of this technology is so big that we are going to focus only on some examples. So I want that you understand that in a course of big data, although we are going to overview the technology, but practically we are going to do projects with selected components, which are the most important. For instance, after Hadoop in NoSQL database like HBase, columnar database, a new distributed file system, new stage of software is Spark. And we are going to do our big data machine learning in Spark, in Spark platform. We are going to use because this is the next generation after Hadoop. The next generation big data platform is based on product like Spark. Next slide, Elena. So as a data analyst, data scientist, is very important that you remember this slide and you return to this thinking to organize your problem in some abstract way, like this pyramid represents data. So you see in the bottom, what is today big data is what we are talking about: unstructured text, images, video. And this is the big chunk of data we are dealing today. As a data scientist, data analyst, you will have to deal with them mostly. The evolvement in the field of big data is so big in the last year that we are talking about evolvement to model of unstructured data which everyone has heard. Large language model, LLM, which is the base of ChatGPT and all related products similar to ChatGPT. So that's why when you are going to solve a problem, analytical problem, you have to abstract yourself which type of data you are having, what type of problem you are going to solve, and then select the appropriate method and technology to do it. Next slide, Elena. So here are simple example: what is structured, what is semi-structured, what is quasi-structured, and what is totally unstructured data. So if you are going to deal with clickstream, you don't really need to go to the complex technology which deal with unstructured data with LLM. You can deal with different technology which will give you more efficient solution to the problem. So just this is for your information, this and the previous slide. Go to the next, Elena. The most important chunk we are going to focus today in big data analytic class. So I'm stressing in the word analytic because what we are going to focus in this class is how to do analytic in big data, what technology, what approaches, and from all algorithms and approaches you studied in the previous machine learning predictive analytic class, how to adapt them to the to the different technology to deal with big data. So that is going to be the purpose. So everything you studied before is very important. We are going to continue using, but also you have to focus what technology you are going to use. So we have arrived to the slide, which is very important, and I want to make sure you understand this this intersection of field, because this is what we are going to focus on. Why? Because the today high of AI, the contemporary AI, is just the evolution, the advancement of big data, complex textual data, toward making machine learning more productive and efficient. Because you understand, if you train the machine learning model with more data, you are going to get much better results. So this intersection, the way big data help with improve machine learning, is actually the heart, the center of the contemporary AI, which take part of the problem of the classical AI, which is we try to do that the computer, the machine can do stuff similar and intelligent like human being. Just today, we are in the stage, that's why I have the title contemporary at the moment. We are talking about AI, which is enhancing human capability. We are talking about a very practical example today is ChatGPT. ChatGPT is just what we have arrived at with the advancement of big data and machine learning based on a large learning model to deal with the biggest chunk of big data, which is textual data. So this intersection is actually what the problem we are going to solve are in this realm. That's why I very would like that you understand where we are in big data. Big data is not just the data, it's the technology and how this advanced today toward the contemporary AI. And we are going, of course, in this very complex realm to do as much as we can in a simple class. Again, we are going to explore a lot, and we are going to select very selected problem in this very wide field to solve practically with project assignment in this class. And it's very important that you get visual representation to organize everything we have talked up to now in the program, where the deep learning stand as a sub area of machine learning, and how machine learning is a sub area of the artificial intelligence today. So this is where we are, and data science, of course, embrace a big chunk of artificial intelligence, but also has other portions which are not concurrent with artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence has some problems which are not data science problems. But we have to understand that many of the problems in data science today, they merge with what is the contemporary AI, and we are going to do some assignment, practical assignment in this direction in this class. Any question up to here? I know I don't see the chat, but if there are no questions, of course, we can leave them for the end. I just want that everybody warm up. We are on the hype of AI in this class because actually big data is the reason where we are today in AI. Okay, so this and the next slide are informative like before, how the data analytic platform to store data have evolved from Iceland, Warehouse, Sandbox, data lakes, and so on and on. Next slide, Elena. And the approach we will be using in this class. So the traditional approach very much was, okay, data analyst got the problem, and then it determined what kind of questions should be asked and solved, what the problem is and how to solve. And as a result, data analysts would ask IT to deploy a data warehouse to run report. That was the traditional data analytic approach, and of course, IT would take from 3 to 6 months to build this expensive infrastructure. Today, everything is in the cloud, okay? Cloud has evolved in parallel with big data, where we not only store data, but we have all the tools and infrastructure and solution at hand as data scientists, data analysts, to solve problems. So totally different approach. That is the way we are going to work in this class. That's why most of the things, even you will say, oh, why I cannot work RStudio in my computer? The thing is that today you are going to go to work at company and you are going to have to work in the cloud. So the project we are going to do with RStudio, we are going to run RStudio in the cloud. This is to prepare you with skill, which actually the employer are expecting. Data analysts, data scientists are capable to do this in their job today. So don't get surprised where your expectation where to do the assignment doesn't match totally. We are going to do as much as possible everything in the cloud as required by industry. So the assignments are like in the whole program, they are practical assignments using different technology. Usually in the 12 weeks, we have 4 major assignments. Just in this case, some of them we have some quizzes to prepare yourself, because since each of the 4 major assignments will use different technology, you will need to warm up with different technology. So we will have quizzes and tutorial which will help you enough to grasp the technology before moving to the big assignment. And of course, you will have not only opportunity to learn new software, new tools, but also to interact with your colleagues in the discussion, exchange idea, learn together, and see how what we are studying is related with real life, real application in your job or in other company. Next slide. So very quickly, since I'm very proud running this program, I want that you are aware that in the place you are, we are well recognized, not only as a program achieving some award in innovation, but also our students participating in international conferences and ranking among, let's say, more than 200 teams from all continents in the world in first, second, third ranking in the top of the competition. Very proud of this. Of course, with the COVID, this competition were frozen for the last 3 years, but we are starting again. So get ready. We are on this, and of course, we have team of professors which can lead and advise the team to participate in this competition. Next slide. So the course schedule is in the syllabus. You have it. Just here is presented in tentatively different way, so you understand that we are going to spend the first 2 weeks in the most traditional big data technology, which is Hadoop MapReduce and NoSQL. And practically from all this, what you are going to do is age-based assignment. Then we are going to move to the contemporary big data technology, which is Spark. We are talking about cluster computing, and Spark is the today top technology on this. So we are going to spend 4 weeks on this, because Spark is not only technology to store big data, but is to run analytic on big data using SQL, using Python, using RStudio. Since we are going to explore all this intersection of different technology with cluster computing like Spark, we are going to spend 4 weeks on this. Then we are going to move to what is doing with different big data technology, analytics, extracting sentiments, and doing in-memory analytics, which are the next 3 weeks. And then we are going to move to what is the contemporary AI, and we are going to build intelligent chatbot. So using different technology. Every time you will have, you see in the last column, we will have live session. Every time we have to introduce you to new technology. You see, now we are in the course introduction. Week 3, we will have Spark walkthrough. Then we will have live session with question and answer for Spark machine learning. Then we will have walkthrough in sentiment analysis and in memory analytics. And then we will have walkthrough in cognitive analytics and AI for the last assignment. Next slide. So here is actually the summary for what I already mentioned. Next slide. And I would like now to give the presentation to Professor Ozan, who actually, in fact, is going to teach this class. Ozan?
Good, Professor. Hello, everyone. As Professor Gorcheva mentioned, we have like 4 major sections and 4 major assignments. We also have some, small assignments, like quizzes and everything. But at the end, you will be graded based on the work you submitted to all these assignments, right? So when you meet the minimum criteria of these assignments, your assignments will be graded between 80 to 90, right? For your minimum submissions. If you, of course, less than minimum, it's going to be less than 80, right? But to go beyond the 90% of the grading, we would like you to spend more time on your assignment, look and make more deeper analysis and provide more deep answers. So when you are making an analysis of like a graph or when you use a software, don't just put the results of the software output, right? We need you to make more discussion. Your what do you understand from this graph? What do you understand from this output? Also, how you can relate this to the other outputs. So when you put different viewpoints, and you support this, your results from the additional sources, then you will go beyond the 90%. We have students like a when just they meet the minimum criteria, they get 90. But when they put more effort, when they put more discussion, more deeper analysis, then they start going above the 90%. I guess, Yelena, you can maybe continue from here.
Well, this is just one slide. Hello, can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yes.
I'm trying, doing my best. Okay, so this is just shows you that in some of the bits you have access to already chapters. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to click on a link to the chapter. Then, in the select institution, more likely UMGC is not going to be listed. So you're going to select others, or there's an option where you can specify your email, and you will be able to get access. It's free for you as a student, and those chapters are excellent. There are 2 chapters in weeks one and 2, and I believe 3 more in the next module. But you're gonna like this, all right? Okay, so next one. Oh, come on. Oh, this slide is on Helpis Technology software. You have a form in the classroom. So you're going to go to course content. Under course content, you're going to see this section is help with technology and software. That section has a link that you need to click on, and the link takes you to the form that you need to fill out, right? Please do not call UMGC help desk. They're not gonna help you, okay? Submit this form. If you call instead, your ticket is gonna go to the wrong place. It's gonna take few days for them to create the case and for me to get it. Oops. Okay? So you're gonna use the form in the classroom only. All right? So you're gonna follow the instructions closely. Very important. You want to select UMGC Virtual Lab support case type. If you look at the drop down, that should be the last case type, right? So you have to enter your course, right, which is the program is data. Then you need to specify that it's data 650, right? You want to put correct course. If you put wrong course, then in that case, it's going to go to wrong TA, right? So after you submit the case, you're going to receive the confirmation email first. That email will have a case number. Please do not lose that case number. If for some unknown reason you don't hear back, right? Sometimes it happens. You may have selected wrong course or something. If you don't hear back, right? And if you report to instructors that you don't hear back, you need to provide the case number. Then I'm gonna use that case number to find the case in the system. Please keep that case number, because there are thousands of cases that are being received per day. The same system is used for advising and financial aid. So please make sure that you put correct information and you keep the case number for your record. Then I'm gonna answer, write the case, and you're gonna receive an email. It's not gonna be email from me, it's gonna be from Virtual Lab. So you want to make sure, sometimes you want to check your junk folder, right? If it happens, sometimes students find it in the junk folder, okay? But usually, well, questions are answered in less than 24 hours, trust me, all right? So as long as if you specify the correct course, if you follow the instructions, you're gonna get prompt assistance. And several people here can confirm that, right? I already helped a couple students this semester from this session, from this course. Okay? Now, this is a software tool that you're gonna use, right? As Professor Gorchov already talked about, you're gonna use IBM Cloud. You're gonna use DB2, which is wide columnar database. You're gonna use Spark. You're gonna use Watson Cognitive. So, Watson Cloud Pack is a sub-platform on the IBM Cloud. We're gonna talk about this in a couple weeks when we have another session, right? And you're gonna use Python, R, and SQL, okay? So that's a screenshot that shows you the main page of the IBM Cloud platform. Your first little assignment is to create an IBM Cloud account. Please do not put that up to the last minute, because couple people already ran into some issues that I actually have the solution for. Sometimes some students it's just perfect. Sometimes something goes wrong on IBM side, something like that. So I have a workaround. Okay, couple students reported an error and we were able to resolve it. Also, please bear in mind that some issues cannot be solved in the classroom. You have to submit a ticket. Sometimes I have to do the screen share with you because the issue could be unique to your browser or anything else, all right? Okay, so please don't put this to the end. No, you don't need to use IBM Cloud for your first assignment. For your HBase assignment, you don't use IBM Cloud, but you need to use this time to resolve any issues with getting IBM Cloud set up. Please do not put this to the end. I'm broken record, but please, okay? This is just IBM Cloud Pack. It's a screenshot, and we're gonna talk about later. But one more thing that I need to tell you, I'm gonna repeat it. But please, by all means, do not put the credit card number. Do not put the credit card number, okay? Please, 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 do not do that. If you believe that you need to do that, submit the ticket and I'll work through it. Sometimes, students, there is something that they don't see or something like that. All right, so please, please, do yourself a favor, do not put credit card, okay? Well, Professor Gorchov already talked about it, but some of you may remember the show called Jeopardy, and Alice Trebek used to be the host. And do you remember the guy, Ken? He was multiple times champion, and at some point he was competing. He was competing with the Watson computer, right? So that put a start of this concept, right? So you might remember it. It's a little bit of history. Okay? Now, this is a slide. It's very important, right? I'm gonna sound like a broken record. Every assignment is going to be repeated. But these assignments are huge. Okay? I was a student also. I was a student in database technology, but still, assignments are big. They cannot be done without in one sitting. Please do not wait until your last day. Okay? Please do not contact IBM. They do not know your assignment. Do not ask them to troubleshoot the code, etc. Please do not do that. Okay? Please do not submit ticket to IBM. Where are you going to submit the ticket? Salesforce. Okay? Please, by all means, do not give the credit card number because we won't be able to help you. We do not have access to pay-as-you-go account. Okay? Well, you not only be charged, but the big problem is TA do not have access to that account. We only have academic account. Okay? Please do not deactivate your IBM Cloud account. And very important, do not let your account expire. Okay? So if you took this course last semester, right? If you took this course last semester, for some reason dropped or something like that, you created IBM Cloud account, it should still be active. But I think they're good for 1 year now. When your account, when 1 year elapses, you would have to get the new code before the current code expired. Okay, you'll need to get the new code at least 1 week before the code expires. Okay, you live by 24 hours rule. This is what I did. As a student, I aimed to finish the assignment 24 hours in advance of due date. Why? Well, you never know. You have a T-storm, power goes out. That's it. You're depending on weather, right? The code does not work. Something happens on the last minute. Maybe Leo goes down, something like that. If you have your work ready, right? Then also during 24 hours, maybe you realize, oh, wait a minute, I forgot something. I forgot to add a screenshot or something like that. You still have time, right? So please do yourself a favor. Get it done early, okay? You never know. What if you have internet or system outage? Then you don't depend on things. You have it early. Very important here. You have ungraded exercises. Does it mean that you don't have to do them? No. Ungraded does not mean optional. They're required. And they may help you with your graded assignment. Okay? Like, for example, there will be ungraded SQL exercises. Then you're going to have similar query, but on a different data set, graded. So if you do the ungraded one, you learn the concept, and then you apply the concept to new data, okay? So please take your time to do the ungraded exercises, because next exercise, next assignment, you may have the same question graded, okay? Read course announcement, please. There are options, notification options in Leo, where you may choose the system to send you an email when announcement is posted. If it's more convenient for you to check email than to log into the classroom, there is an option to receive an email each time the announcement is posted. All right? Then you need to submit the cases. Please don't wait until the end, right? Because if there is a problem, like for example, the environment was updated, right? Things on the cloud get updated a lot. Environment get updated, the significant change to interface, I need to know. I need to be aware of it, right? Because in order to update the instructions, we need to have a ticket, right? The student needs to report an issue. How am I gonna, but what I do on my end is, before assignment is released, I do the testing. But the thing is, there are days in between. It's highly possible that IBM runs an upgrade after the assignment was tested, right? And after you receive the instructions. See, it happens. So, but you know, the assignment is not going to be tested every day. So if you run into an issue, you need to report it. I'm going to do research on my end, and we'll see. Sometimes an issue is missing an instruction. Sometimes IBM did some change, so we need to work together here. Okay. So also, please make sure that your email in the classroom and Salesforce email are up to date. Because what I do in the system, I go in, I open a ticket, and I click send email button, right? And whatever email gets sent, it's your email that's in the system. So when you submit the case, make sure you put the same email that is in the university system. Because one of the students, she put her work email in a ticket, then she was not getting responses to her work email. Why? Because that email that gets picked up by the system, it's an email that's in the system, right? So please make sure you use correct email when you submit the ticket, okay? This is slide, what should you do? Last slide was not to do. What not to do, okay? Now, this this is a little bit guidance. Where do I post my question? If it's a general question about the due date, if it's a syllabus question on non-software related, right? Those goes for instructor discussion. Then there is a separate discussion if something like a link broke. Things happen. Sometimes the things move, and also the thing is what happened was the course model was created and the content was copied over from the model to the session. Sometimes there were issues during the copying process, right? You never know. So please, please, if there is a broken link, report it. It's gonna help us and it's gonna help your classmates. Okay? If there is an issue with IBM Cloud, right? It cannot be resolved in the classroom. You have to issues with IBM Cloud assignment, about IBM Cloud account. You need to submit the ticket because sometimes your issue is unique. We need to set up the screen share with you, right? So, and if you have issues with IBM Cloud services, if you need help with ungraded exercises, if you have questions about the data you're working with, if you have any code issues, anything changes to the interface, or things like that, right? Any technical questions, or perhaps you have an issue with uploading the data, right? That's just an example. Or if you have an issue with uploading the notebook, that's going to be assignment 2 or Spark tutorial, right? Things like that. Now, if the question is about your specific grade or something like assignment, you need more time, or if you need some, you have some reasonable accommodations, that goes to instructor, okay? If you have a question, if you need more time on assignment, if you have a good reason for it, this does not go to Salesforce. Those questions go to Professor Ozan, right? But I'm going to help you. If I know that you granted, your professor granted you an extension, then I'll need to know about it. The fact that the reason I need to know about it because I still help. If you get more time for assignment, or if you have an incomplete, you still submit the ticket and I still assist. Okay, but I just need to know from instructors that you have more time, so that way I anticipate the ticket from you, and I'm gonna help. I still help. Okay, just keep that in mind. Okay, now your turn. Questions. And Professor Ozan, anything you want to add? I'm gonna mute myself, but could you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, Elena. Right.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, your voice was clear. There was no any issue. Yeah, Yelena, thank you very much for for this information again. But I just want to add what you said is the success in the course very depend on the amount of time you put on this course. As we explain, all the major assignments takes time to complete. Please do not leave it to like a last week, last couple of days. So if you put continuous time on these assignments, you're going to be very successful. Also, the announcements, we regularly post announcements, maybe like every 2 days, every 3 days, we post announcements. Please read very carefully, understand, and if you have any questions about the announcements, please do not hesitate to reach out to me anytime you need. In those assignments, in those announcements, we put a lot of details about the assignment clarifications, the due dates, deadlines, like any type of questions that are asked previously from our other students. So those announcements are very important. Also, the discussion boards. When you are doing discussion boards, please submit your discussion as early as possible so that you can contribute to other folks. They can respond you back, and a lot of other people can respond or read your post at early and so that they can respond to you, right? So that you can make some contribution to other people. So make a good contribution, make a fruitful contribution. Also, make this contribution as early as possible. Other than that, as Yelena said, if you have any question about the softwares, please create a Salesforce ticket and reach out to Yelena anytime you need. If you have any question about the assignment content, grading, please send me an email anytime you need. So we are here to help you answer your questions whenever you need. Other than that, nothing else comes to my mind, Yelena. Professor Gorcheva, do you want to add anything?
I would prefer first to answer a student question. I can talk for 1 hour about AI, which I want to talk, but because there is a lot of relation between the job of data scientists actually with the today advancement in the contemporary AI, specifically ChatGPT and similar product, is getting more efficient. And of course, we will have to talk about this during the course. But I would be happy to answer any question, any burning question if there is right now. I think there is something in the chat.
Yeah. So there's one question about the assignment submission format, right? So not just for assignment 1, for any of the assignments, if you go through the the assignment description, you can definitely find how the questions will be submitted, how the of what will be the format of the submission and everything. So any kind of assignment related question, please go through the assignment description first. I'm sure you will get a lot of answers there. Then we can definitely respond to these questions. For example, for assignment 1, yes, we have some questions and answers. Then we have some analysis needs to be done. The questions and answers can be first, and assignment analysis can be done later. But when you are doing your analysis, please put your comments. Please make sure that these are your own comments. For example, when you're answering some questions, please do not copy from the websites, right? Okay, the Turnitin software immediately recognize that anyways. Read those websites, read your resources, and answer those questions with your own answers. Any other question, folks? We are going to have live sessions, help sessions almost before every assignment. We definitely recommend you to get ready those live sessions. Come with the questions, ask as much as you want, so that you can Yelena can answer your questions on those live sessions. Otherwise, we will be posting those recordings and the slides after the live sessions. I don't know what else we can say. Some of the softwares that you're going to use has some limits of use, but we will be posting announcements related to these limits, like a time limit. And if you read those announcements, I'm sure you will not have any issue about those time limits. Any question, folks? Yelena, for the answer to this question is yes, right? Because you have always students using the Mac computers.
Yes, because you'll be using the cloud, right? You're not doing anything on your computer. You're going to be using cloud environment.
Right. We are not installing anything to our computers. We will be using the clouds to access these softwares.
So everybody must understand, if you are in the cloud, you are using your browser. It doesn't matter you are using Mac, Microsoft, whatever computer is totally indifferent. In the cloud, because you are not going to install any software in your computer. So no difference what kind of computer you are using. What operating system actually you are using. No difference. I just want, in meantime, until you are thinking to suggest during the course, since all the work you're going to do is with big data, mostly with textual data, think about how contemporary advancement of tools like based on LLM, large language model like ChatGPT and other, can enhance your future job as data scientist, data analyst, and try to research in this direction, try to think about, try to explore wherever possible, and try to bring to open discussion in the classroom, because it's very important. We have to make sure and understand that everybody is going to be impacted with the new technology. And fortunately, data scientists are impacted in positive way. But what is this positive way is very important to talk about, because there are other professions which just AI is going to displace. Other position will appear. Data scientist profession is going to be enhanced with this new technology. But how is very important. You research, you find out, and you bring this to the classroom in open discussions. For the capstone, I see a question. I don't think we have planned any discussion, but what I'm going to request from the capstone professor is the introductory recording, which is the same thing we are doing, where he explained what they are going to do in this project, and share with you, so you warm up and you get more prepared for this. Just as anticipation, you have several options for the capstone. The capstone involve all the stages of a data science project. All the stages, I mean, defining a problem, finding the data, exploring data, doing visualization, building the model, tuning the model, evaluating the model, and of course, defining recommendation, how to improve the obtained result, interpreting the result. And of course, you will have some presentation to do, two presentations during the whole class, one in the middle and one at the end. And this presentation, you will be working with, so a teamwork is going to occur in this capstone project, but not in the classical way you were doing in 610 or 630. The teamwork is more like you're going to get peer review from the colleague in your team. What that means, you will be presenting to them some milestone of your project, and they will give you recommendation. So that is the peer review. That is part of the group activity. And then you will have the possibility to take into account this recommendation before submitting for grading, which is the usual thing data scientists in community do. You get peer review recommendation. So that is in general what is included in the project. Now you can work on a project with data which are available in the classroom, selecting in the area which you would like to work in your future career, let's say in financial market, in marketing, in healthcare, in cybersecurity, in whatever direction you want to work, you will have data available. In addition to that, we have some industry sponsor available, but not, of course, for all the students. You apply if you are interested. And these are projects from NASA, from FAA, which a team of scientists from this company give to us, and you will have to work on a problem they want to be solved. They define the problem and you work for them. Of course, you will be graded by your professor is selected. In addition, there is another option. You can bring a project, a problem from your job, from your actual job. The only condition is you have to have a permission from your employer to use the data, because this data will be disclosed among the peer reviewing team, and your professor will be aware in order to grade you. So you will have to have a permission to use this data in the classroom. But this is, some students do that, they get this permission, and they actually do two things simultaneously. They do classwork, get grade, and do project for their real job, which is paying them to do the job. So that's are the options. I love this question. So can I paraphrase this question the way I understand? What part of the data scientist job AI cannot do now? Is that the question? Yes, I knew it. Of course, everyone wants that. So let's put it this way. At the moment, you can get the code, but you have, as a data scientist, to verify, because still AI is not 100% producing the right code, okay? AI can clean your data, but you need to still know what that means, and you have to make sure that this is done correctly. So on top of AI is gonna do the dirty job for you as a data scientist, but you need to have the knowledge to do the quality control. What AI cannot do for you as a data scientist is this creativity of modeling, of AI can tune parameter automatically, but AI lacks human creativity. So all this human creativity you use as a data scientist, you interpret the result, make recommendation, is above what AI can do for you as data scientists today. That is the state of the art today. Of course, AI will continue improving, but don't expect in near future that AI can substitute a data scientist. This is not visible. Did I answer your question? Good. I don't see more questions. Well, if there are not more questions, I think we covered, we are past the hour. Probably we have to end the session.
Right.
Mhm.
Thanks to everyone for participating tonight.
Thank you. Bye.
And Yelena, thanks for the presentation.